Hi everyone, my name is Kayla and welcome back to Kay's Hidden Shelf, where we talk about books. Today I'm going to share with you the books that I plan to read in January. Now 2022 has gone, we're in 2023, and it's another year of fantastic books ahead. Oh, and before I forget, I'll also be participating in the Keymark Readathon happening this January. This is a new readathon that's happening. I'll leave a link to all of the details down below, and you can always find that Keymark Discord invite in the description of the videos as well. This is happening from January 6th to February 6th with 4 hosts, including Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads, Madison from Madison Goodyear, Josephine from Vine Reads, and Josh over at Red Fury Books. This readathon is designed in a way that anyone can join, whether you read a ton of books or read a few books. It gives a cap at 5 books read per participant so that it keeps things fair for those of us who may not be able to read 6 or 8 or 20 books in a month. Now, I will say that my reading was already planned prior to joining the readathon, so I'm going to try and match up the books that I have to the prompts that are already there. Since this readathon has a cap of 5 books per person to try and keep it fair for everyone, I'm sure I'll be able to find something for as many prompts as I can within the books that I have planned for January. Let's jump in with the books that I'm carrying over from December. The first one being Wrath from the Mountains by D.A. Smith. This is book 2 in the Bane Sword saga, book 1 being The Blood of the Outcasts. I recently finished The Blood of the Outcasts in December, and quickly after I needed to pick this up. Now, I did receive this copy in exchange for an honest review from the author, and this actually is an ARC copy that was sent to me. This was released on December 15th, I believe, and unfortunately it just didn't make it here in time due to postal issues. However, it's here now, and I am very excited to continue, as The Blood of the Outcast left off in a way that I needed to continue right away. Now, I'm still working on my review for The Blood of the Outcasts, but in the meantime, this is a self-published fantasy series that is Japanese-inspired, with our main character, Masako, being a bit of an unlikable character. This is also told in first person and just gives a very gritty feeling to the story, as our main character is unlikable and quite to the point. There's lots of action in it so far, and I'm really eager to continue on with this series and seeing the magic and how the author takes the story from here. The last carryover is Sodaneon by L.L. Stephens. This is book 1 in the Triperia Revelation series. Now, I started this in December. I'm still really fresh into it. I haven't gotten too far, and so far I've heard great things about it. I've already talked about it in my December TBR. The world sounds interesting, and it is a fantasy book as well, so I'm really looking forward to continuing with this one in January. The next book I have lined up is A Gamble of Gods by Mitreal Faywood. This is book 1 in the Order of the Dragon series, and a debut for this author. Now, I did receive this copy in exchange for an honest review from the author, and so far I've been hearing great things from other reviewers and friends that I've talked to. It's also a self-published fantasy. Let's go ahead and read the description. Life used to be good. I had money, I had fame, I had respect. The same thrill during work every day. A different woman in my bed every night. Best fighter to hire for dangerous jobs. Most famous thief in the 19 kingdoms. Half the world sought my services when they needed the impossible done. The other half wanted to sleep with me. Then one day, this strange guy showed up with his even stranger pet, the latter a bit of a gift horse by all accounts, and turned it all upside down. They claimed to have come to save my life, and while they were at it, I got them to help out with the most important quest of my existence, finding the supreme key of the dragon. Needless to say, none of it turned out quite how I expected, but we had fun, even if it was hell sometimes. In the end, what we found was worth it all. My name is Connor Drew. The gods destined me for great things, but I turned them down. So this is about 460 pages, and I'm excited to jump in and see what kind of adventures Connor gets into. Next, we have The Wolf of Oren-Yaro by K.S. Villoso. Now, this is actually our Femifictionado book pick for December and January, and this is actually book 1 in the Chronicles of the Bitch Queen. I believe the title of the series has since changed, however, the version I have does call it this. Let's read the back. They called me the bitch queen, the she-wolf, because I murdered a man and exiled my king the night before they crowned me. Born under the crumbling towers of her kingdom, Queen Talion was the shining jewel and legacy of the bloody war of the wolves. It nearly tore her nation apart, but her arranged marriage to the son of a rival clan heralds peace. However, he suddenly disappears before their reign can begin, and the kingdom is fractured beyond repair. Years later, he sends a mysterious invitation to meet. Talion journeys across the sea in hopes of reconciling their past. An assassination attempt quickly dashes those dreams. Stranded in a land she doesn't know, with no idea whom she can trust, Talion will have to embrace her namesake. Now, this is about 420 pages, and from the sounds of it, it looks like I'm going to be in for an epic action-packed read. I'll also be reading Vagrant by Gabe Thompson. Now, I did receive an ebook for this in exchange for an honest review. However, I'm also going to be going in with the audiobook as I realize that that is available as well. I do love immersion reading, and doing reviews, I feel like it gives me a better experience in order to relay a review to you, but also lets me review the audiobook in addition to the physical or ebook copies so that I can give you as much information as possible. This is book 1 in the Vagrant Chronicles and seems like it'll be a quick read at just about 180 pages. It's also a sci-fi, so it'll be a nice addition to balance out all the fantasy in January. Let's read the description. Logan Hall is a vagrant, one of the disenfranchised living beneath the megacity of New Washington. The vagrants have to hide from the company who is rounding all of them up and shipping them to newly discovered planets to work in the mines. That's what happened to Logan's father. Shayna is one of the privileged. She has a chip, a credit disc, and lives in a shiny stainless steel and glass high-rise above ground. Shayna is also allergic to corn, so she is one of the few above-ground people who is not stoned on soper. Soper is a drug found in genetically altered corn. It's in almost all food. The vagrants know about soper and avoid it. These two teens from wildly differing environments meet by accident and fall in love. Logan will stop at nothing to rescue his friend Raj, captured and sent to the moon. Together, he and Shayna will follow his dreams of finding his father, who was sent to work in the mines on Glissius 67. Offhand, there is already a lot going on in this, and for such a short book, I'm curious to see how it's all going to pan out. With a romance, a rescue mission, hopefully 2 rescue missions, and an oppressive society, it sounds like there is a lot happening, and this might be a fast-paced sci-fi. The last book I have here is a continuation of our Malazan Readalong, and that is Deadhouse Gates by Steven Erikson. I recently read Gardens of the Moon, and I had a good time with it. For the most part, I was confused at first, and then I started to understand things, and then I got confused again. There was just a lot to keep track of. You are literally thrown into the world, the story, and the circumstances, and because of that, it gets a little tricky to track everything from the magic system to the world to the characters and the lore. Just all of it. It had a lot of elements that I really enjoyed, and it ended in a way that made me want to keep reading, so I'm eager to continue on with Deadhouse Gates. And if you're interested in joining us in this read-along, whether it's your first time or you're rereading it, we'd love to chat with you. We are discussing the books as we read them over on the Wizardly Duo Discord. I'll leave links for everything down below in the description, along with more details. It's just been really fun to chat with everyone, whether you've read them before or it's your first time in. I'm looking forward to continuing, though I am going to have to keep better track this time around, I think. And that is everything I hope to read in January. Was there one that stood out to you? Have you read any of these? If you did, what did you think? Or what are you excited to read in January? I'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you for watching and take care of yourselves.